Ciao guys, and welcome back to another episode of It's Delicious. Today we're going to make an Italian favorite, which is polpette, which in English is meatballs. Traditionally the polpette are made in sugo, in a sauce, but you can also eat them just fried. My children love them just fried like that, or in sugo. Today I'm going to make them just fried, just to show you how to make the polpette. And this is my traditional Italian way, Sicilian. My whole family is from Sicily, I'm Sicilian. So this is our way. Everybody has their own way, there's no right and no wrong. I'm just showing you my way from Sicilia, from Sicily. I have one secret ingredient, which I'm going to show you at the end, well, during what it is. And that ingredient makes a big difference. But what we're going to be needing for this is, I've got half a kilo of beef mince. In America I think you call it ground beef. And a half a kilo of pork mince. Okay, I always mix the two because the pork just gives it a nice richer flavor, and it makes it juicy as well. So you need a half a kilo beef, half a kilo pork. Then you need your usual salt and pepper, 2 eggs, prezzemolo or parsley. I always use the flat leaf parsley, the Italian one. I just find it much tastier than that normal one that looks like a flower, looks like cauliflower. Okay, then you need Parmesan cheese. You'll see I'm not giving you measurements because I'm going to do it all by hand. You're going to see as I make it, I'm going to show you it's a handful. Because when you're making a lot of polpette, you don't sit and measure 20 grams, 50 grams. Just do it how you want. Okay, then you're going to need some bread, which I'll show you what to do with it afterwards. Milk. Okay, and that's about it. So I'm going to start putting it all into a bowl now and show you quantities, and you can see what goes in and how it gets done. Okay, so first things first, guys, what I want to do is get the bread going. So what I do, you can use breadcrumbs that you make yourself. That's what I would suggest if you don't want to do it this way. I don't buy breadcrumbs because they're usually toasted and it changes the whole thing. I hate toasted breadcrumbs. I like just normal bread. So what I do, because I can never find breadcrumbs, I use this method, which is pretty good. It actually, to me, it makes a big difference. I think it's much better. So I've got 3 slices here of normal, this square bread over here. I'm going to cut the crusts off because they go a bit lumpy. So I'm going to cut the crusts off. Okay. Right, so now I've just got 3 pieces of normal bread over here. This is a bit fresh. So it's sticking together a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is put it in a plate, okay, and then we're going to add a little bit of milk. Now the milk is just to make this go all soft, okay. Alright, so you can see there's not a lot of milk in here. Basically what we're going to do, I'm going to get it started, is we're just going to sort of mush it all up. And there must be enough milk to mush it up. It mustn't be too dry and it mustn't be too wet. So when it's mushed up, it's going to make like a consistency like this. Just like a, I don't know, like a putty kind of consistency. Alright, so I've done this first because I wanted to stay in the milk a little bit, because you know, when it stays in, the longer it stays in, the less chances of having lumps, because it melts nicely. So it's like a porridge. You're making like a porridge, okay, with the breadcrumbs, with the bread and the milk. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. Right, now I've got myself a bowl. I'm going to be mixing everything inside here. Okay, so let's put the meat in. This is the pork. So remember, it's going to be half pork, half beef. I don't use any other kind of meat. I've heard people use lamb and stuff like that. I've never heard of that in Italy. maybe in other regions, I'm not sure, but not where I'm from. And I just can't imagine lamb tasting good. It's such a strong meat, I don't know. Anyway, so this is just beef and pork. This is the traditional Sicilian way. Okay, so I put them all in a bowl. I've got my beef, I've got my pork. Now, we're going to put the 2 eggs. So I'm just going to mix everything into the bowl and then mix it once all together. Okay, so the eggs, we're going to put 2 in, and basically the job of the egg is to bind it. So I would say put it in. You know, there's some people don't put eggs in. I would say definitely put egg in. It holds it together. Sometimes when you make them, especially the way that I make them, they come so soft and juicy that they can break apart. The egg keeps it together. Okay, now the parsley, I'm very generous with prezzemolo. I like putting a lot. So this is a whole handful. Okay, I've chopped it all up. This is a whole handful of parsley. I love parsley, and I think it makes the polpette taste so Italian. You know, parsley is a very Italian herb. They use it in a lot of dishes, and it just brings out the flavors of everything. Okay, so then a very important ingredient is Parmesan cheese. This is grana padano. I don't ever buy it grated because I believe that that's rubbish. It tastes like sawdust. So I buy the whole head of the grana, and then I grate it myself. So this is 2 handfuls of Parmigiano. Now this is the grana padano, which is it's a creamier, softer Parmesan cheese. The Reggiano is very hard. It's a bit saltier, it's a bit coarser. I like to grate that over the pasta. It's like pecorino romano. So the grana is nice for this because it melts actually a little bit when you're cooking the polpette. Alright, so then just, you know, pepper as usual. I just cover the top. Depends how much you like pepper. Guys, even with the salt, because you're putting so much Parmigiano, it's difficult to judge with salt. And it all depends on you. So what I suggest you do is put salt. Okay, put what you think is right. Always start with less. Then, when everything is done, make a little polpetta, cook it in the microwave or fry a little one, and taste before you make all your polpette. When your salt is right, then start making all the polpette. The worst thing is to add salt afterwards with any cooking, and also, you know, you can't take salt out. So start with a bit less and then put it in. Okay. So now we're going to put in. Now the bread has become very soft, like real smooth porridge, and that's exactly what you want. Okay, so we're going to put that in. Now the reason why for me this works really well is because it just makes it more moist. And the secret of a good polpetta is a moist polpetta. You don't want a dry piece of rubber. Nice and soft and juicy. And the bread helps to do this. Now, finally, the other ingredient, which I'm going to put in, which you've probably never heard of before, makes a huge difference. And this, it's baking powder. Okay? Now baking powder, as you know, you put it in cakes and dolce. You put it in sweet stuff to make it rise. But what it does in this is it makes it fluffy and light. So you know, a lot of people complain their polpetta are hard, they're like rubber balls. Put a bit of baking powder, not baking soda, it's baking powder. Okay, it looks like flour. Put a teaspoon per kilo, 1 teaspoon per kilo, and you'll see how your polpette, your meatballs just are beautiful and light and airy and juicy, just beautiful. Okay, so that's the thing. I need to just open. Let me just wipe my hands. Right, so I just need to open this without cutting my fingers off. And I'm going to spread about a teaspoon over the meat as well. That's it. So this is the secret ingredient, baking powder. Right, now we mix it all up, and then we're going to taste it before we start making the polpette. Okay guys, so I've mixed it all up. It's all in the bowl. I've tried it for salt. I made a little piece in the microwave. It tastes good. It's right with salt. So now I'm going to let it rest a little bit. I'm going to cover it. And then I'm only going to roll them into the polpette a little bit later on, just before we're ready to cook them. So I'm going to let them rest like this, let all the flavors go in, and later on we will make the actual little polpette balls, the meatballs, and then we'll carry on from there. Okay guys, so now it's time to start making the actual polpette, the balls. So they've been resting for a while. Right guys, so this is purely, it's up to you now. I'm going to make the normal traditional size. So you just grab more or less a piece, roll it up into a ball. Do this for a while because you want them to stick nicely together, and then just flatten them out. Okay, then you've got a nice polpette. So try and grab the same amount. It doesn't matter if one's a bit bigger, one's a bit smaller, you know, as long as they're more or less all the same size, like that. And so we're going to repeat that process until all of the mince is done. It takes quite long, but it needs to be done. Okay guys, so this is my last one. Okay, so just to give you an idea, have a look at them. So with 1 kilo of mince in total, we made 36 polpette. So that gives you an idea just how many you're going to be making. Okay guys, so that's that. The next step now is to heat up the oil in the pan, and we're going to fry them and we're going to eat them. Okay guys, so I've got my pan, the oil's nice and hot, and now I'm going to put them in. Make sure you put enough oil. Come and have a look. Make sure you put enough oil in so it covers like half of the polpette.